As a film nerd, I frequently overanalyze films and TV shows as I watch them, thinking about how certain shots were achieved and how I might have done certain things differently. And along these lines, I think one of the biggest missteps in cinema history was killing off Darth Maul at the end of Episode 1. The original trilogy created one of the most iconic villains of all time in Darth Vader, so whichever Sith Lord was chosen for the prequel trilogy was going to have immensely big shoes to fill. But Darth Maul was up to this task. His character design looks like something straight out of a nightmare, with a demonic kind of look. And I know double-sided lightsabers have been done time and time again nowadays, but seeing the reveal of his second blade was truly an iconic moment that made him stand out and established him as a big threat. And they killed him. They killed him off after just one film. Why? Why would you kill him? Against all odds, you created a villain who could potentially rival Vader in terms of on-screen presence, and you cut him in half off rip? I'll truly never understand the decision-making process here, but thankfully we got the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars resurrected Darth Maul, which was something I was very skeptical of at first, but it gives us some of the best storytelling in the entire franchise. Despite being an extremely popular character, Darth Maul actually has very little screen time throughout the Star Wars canon. In Episode 1, Darth Maul says a total of 31 words before his untimely demise. In the Clone Wars animated series, Darth Maul is only featured in 11 episodes, and is in a mere 4 episodes of Rebels. But despite this lack of screen time, Darth Maul is one of the first things fans think of when it comes to Clone Wars or Rebels, and this is because of the impact he makes. Maul's return has major ramifications for both the dark side and light side. He's seeking revenge on not only the Jedi who cut him down, but also upon his master who discarded him. Maul operates as an evil third party to the struggle in a sense, because while he uses the dark side, he doesn't support Palpatine's plans. In fact, he threatens to be a potential wrench in Darth Sidious's plans, as he has knowledge of who his former master is pretending to be, and truly serves nothing but his own greed and anger. In the span of just a few episodes, Darth Maul seizes control of Mandalore and manages to kill Kenobi's love interest right in front of him. Maul killing Satine is truly a standout tragic moment of the franchise, and also serves as a testament to what Darth Maul could accomplish in a short span of time. But the dialogue shared between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul prior to this iconic moment actually gives us a look into Maul's backstory. Obi-Wan attempts to speak to Maul's humanity as a last-ditch effort to save Satine. "I know where you're from. I've been to your village. I know the decision to join the dark side wasn't yours." To which Maul interrupts him mid-sentence by saying, "Silence, you think you know me?" Which lets us know that Obi-Wan has indeed struck a nerve. In this moment, Darth Maul is simply continuing the cycle of hatred which was forced upon him. He was forced to carry the burden of hatred and pushed into the darkness. So now he's trying to inflict it upon someone else. He's attempted to eternalize all of his hatred towards Obi-Wan because he's the Jedi who cut Maul in half and left him for dead. But deep inside, he also holds a deep anger towards the man who trained him and pushed him into the dark side to begin with. Is he upset that he was beaten in battle, or is he more upset with the ramifications of his loss? He went from apprentice to one of, if not the strongest being in the galaxy, to being disregarded. He's upset and wants to lash out. Gaining control of Mandalore, training his brother Savage Opress to be his apprentice, and assembling armed forces are all attempts to regain the sense of power that he feels he lost after being defeated in battle. In quite literally the same episode that Darth Maul kills Duchess Satine, everything comes crashing down upon him as his former master comes to rip everything away once again. Darth Sidious kills Savage, beats Maul in battle, and rather than killing Maul, decides to torture him and keep him as a tool in case he finds use for him later on. It is important to note that Sidious only partakes in 2 fights in the entirety of the Clone Wars show, one being against Yoda, which is not actually a real clash of blades as it's a vision, and the other being his encounter with Maul and Savage Opress. This speaks volumes about the threat that Maul had become, as Sidious is shown to be much more comfortable operating in the shadows and manipulating things from behind the scenes. But for him to go out of his way to stop Maul's reign means he saw that Maul had the ability to become a rival to his throne down the line. In the latest and final season of Clone Wars, we see Maul try to lure Anakin to Mandalore so he could kill him and deprive his former master of his coveted new apprentice. Once again, he's attempting to kill a person who is near and dear to someone who has done him wrong in the past. Regardless of if you're a dark side user or a light side user, Maul acts in the same way. Despite his best efforts to lure Anakin to Mandalore, Ahsoka is sent instead. But this gives us an even more interesting dynamic, as Ahsoka is also a third party to the conflict between the Sith and the Jedi. We were both tools to greater powers. Justice is merely the construct of the current power base, a base which, according to my calculations, is about to change. Too late? For what? The Republic to fall? It already has, and you just can't see it. There is no justice, no law, no order, except for the one that will replace it. The time of the Jedi has passed. They cannot defeat Sidious. In the scene that I just paraphrased, Maul does his absolute best to get Ahsoka to join him in his plan to stop Sidious. And he's correct in a lot of his assertions. The Jedi will fail to stop Sidious, the Republic will fall, and both he and Ahsoka have been used as tools. But Maul fails to sway Ahsoka over to his side because he still can't escape the cycle of hatred that Sidious placed him in. He wants to defeat Darth Sidious, but not to put an end to the dark side. Rather, as Ahsoka says, Maul merely wants to take his place. Maul is after power that can be claimed for his personal gain. So while their goals may align momentarily, Maul fails to gain a powerful ally because he is still a slave to the dark side. We last see Darth Maul in Rebels, where his story comes to a close. Even decades removed, Maul can't escape his hatred for Obi-Wan, so he tracks him down on Tatooine. When Maul first finds Kenobi, he's surprised to see his former foe has become a desert rat hiding from the Empire. But he quickly pieces together that Obi-Wan must be protecting someone, so Maul plans to finally kill Kenobi and take Luke as his new apprentice. This just goes to show that even after losing at the hands of the Sith, Maul still couldn't escape the Sith mindset. He's still trying to find an apprentice to adhere to the love to, he's still seeking power, and he's still driven by hatred. Even in his dying breath, he has revenge on his mind as Maul utters, "He will avenge us." All in all, Darth Maul is a somewhat tragic character as he is forced into a life of hatred and revenge seeking, that ultimately he is never able to break out of. With this engaging storyline, his incredible character design, and a series of iconic moments, Darth Maul will forever remain one of the most recognizable Star Wars characters, and one of his best villains. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Darth Maul as a character and are interested in further explorations of screen stories, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe.